Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Turquoise and Sasquatch with me, Wendy Wilson. Thank you for being here. Thank you to all the new subscribers. I wanted to get on, just talk about, I guess just chit chat with you. Just talk about like what's going on in the world. All the crazy stuff. I don't know if you've heard, I think the past couple week or two, they're talking about vaccinating bees. What could possibly go wrong with that? I know they were saying something about bees, like, prevent them from getting diseases. What could possibly go wrong? So I'm not too happy to hear that. Bees are like our everything. I know, our bees, well, actually not ours, they're my neighbors. They have like really great bees. My neighbor got some Italian bees, and there's this one that like he named Guido, and he's like this chunky little bee, and I love to see them kind of like all in our flowers in our garden. And they have those all the pollen they have on their legs. They look so cute because they're carrying all this pollen. They're pollinating away. I like to say that they're like my little workers. They're like, it's so funny because I think they recognize us. I know they recognize me because I'm in the garden and I'm there pulling weeds, and they're like all, buzzing around me. They don't even care that I'm there. They just kind of go do about their, business or work. It's so cute because I'm able to get really close and they're just kind of buzzing around. They don't bother me. I don't bother them. And I think we also have that with like Jello jackets too. I know we have several nests on our property. And I know my husband said, be careful, like when you're mowing, be careful when you're like in that area. And I'm like, okay, so I try to be careful, but I think they know for some reason, because they haven't been aggressive towards us. I know they go in the garden also, and I'm in there, and I try to avoid them, like the Jello jackets. But they're still like in there, and I think they know. I think for some reason they recognize us. But we have a lot of like pollinators. We have those carpenter bees, like those big chunky wood bees. They're kind of like always all over the place. And we know a person because they're kind of like, they're in your face, but they're not aggressive. And so we know someone that says, no, they sting. And I'm like, really? They sting? And she's like, yeah. Every time, like she's afraid of bees because she's like, oh, they always come after me, especially those big carpenter bees. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I would have never known. Because here with us, they're not, they're kind of like in your face, but they're not aggressive. They're just kind of destructive because they like to kind of do their little holes on our, in our wood around here. But we do have a lot of pollinators. Now, the ones that I don't like, I'm sure, like if you've heard my previous shows, you'll know the praying mantis. I don't like praying mantises. Just because I'll tell you my story again. For those of you that are new and haven't heard my story about a praying mantis, I will tell you what happened and why I don't like them. I know my husband's like, they're good for the garden. They're like our little workers too. And I get it. I just don't care for the praying mantises. And the reason is, okay, so this happened. We were not living here. We were living in a different home in a different state. We were living in Maryland. And we used to set up, like, we haven't done it here. And, I'm interested to see like what would happen if we do set up here. We used to set up like movie nights, and we have like a huge screen, like outdoor screen, and a projector, and we would set it up and we would invite our friends and neighbors to kind of watch movies like outside. And we would we have like a big, like kind of those wedding tents that we would set up just in case it would rain or whatever. So we would kind of be under also sometimes out in the open and sometimes under the tent. This particular night, we had it in under the tent. And I remember it was just us. We didn't have anybody over, just us four. And we're sitting there, we're watching a movie. And this is already, because it was already dark. It was dark. So I'm sitting there and I feel something like get on the side of my face. And I feel it like crawling. And then I'm screaming because I can feel I can feel something crawling on the side of my face. And my husband is like next to me and I'm screaming. And it's like climbing, like by the time my husband was like, what's wrong? What happened? And I'm like, there's something crawling on my face. And he's yelling at me, like, stand still, stand still. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm screaming. And it was already like up my hair, in my hair. And he took it off and he's like, it's a praying mantis. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So as he's taking it off of me, it's like it pinched his fingers. And he lets it go. And I'm like, ah. And he's like, you're fine. You're fine. So he let it go. And he's like, oh, they're good. And I'm like, no. I hated them ever since. Just because I'm thinking, what are the odds? What are the odds? So this is like the crazy stuff that happens to me. This is like some of the crazy stuff. Maybe since today is Friday the 13th, maybe I'll just give you some crazy things. So this is like the crazy stuff that happens to me. That particular, what were the odds of it being late at night? It wasn't that late. Probably it was already dark. So it must have been 9 or 10. Why me? All of a sudden to jump on my face, and it was basically crawling up my face until he removed it. It didn't pinch me. I was fine. It was just crawling on me. It pinched him when he took it off of my face. It pinched his fingers. So that's the crazy stuff. I'm going to tell you this other story. This actually did not happen to me. It happened to my son, my older son. So he was young at the time. And he was maybe 10, 11, 12 maybe. We were in the same house, in Maryland. I know we were supposed to go to Walmart or something with my husband. And my older son was already outside. And me and my younger son are kind of walking out to the car. And we see my older son running from the corner of the house. He's running. He's like, get in the car, get in the car, get in the car. And of course, you tell me and my son, you tell us, get in the car. Yes, we're going to get in the car. So my younger son and I, we're running. We run to the car. We get in the car. We close the doors. And my son makes it because he's fast. He's a runner. He's really fast. So he's in the car. I think we made it to the car at the same time. And we were a lot closer. And he was all the way back. So he's a runner. So he made it to the car. And we all closed, the doors and everything. And there's this dragonfly. And it's a big dragonfly. And it's circling the car. And it's almost it's hitting. And this is going to sound unbelievable. But it's hitting the glass, of the, all of our windows and the front. And it's almost it's trying to get in through the, the windows. And then my husband's walking to the car. And we're get in the car, get in the car. And he's what? He's taking his time. He opens the door. He sits in the car. And I think he was doing it on purpose. He was extra slow. And we're oh my gosh. Because to us, it's this little dragonfly wants to attack us. Or at least he wants to attack my son. And so my husband's oh, we're crazy. And we're no. So he starts the car. And we're not too far from from the Walmart. So we start driving and we're looking because this dragonfly is keeping up with the car. And we're like, oh my gosh, it's following us. And it was unreal because it was almost like it was smart enough. Like it followed us. And when we got to the Walmart, like again, it's going to sound so unreal. We pulled up in a park, like my husband parks the car, and we're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. It followed, we kept our eyes on it, and it followed us. And then he's like, oh, you guys are crazy. He gets out of the car, and we're like, we don't want to get out. But we end up getting out because we didn't see it. And then it got, unfortunately, which fortunately or unfortunately, it got, I guess it got sucked in to the grill of the car. And we're like, oh my gosh. That's why I guess when we got there, we didn't see it because it got sucked in, and it was killed. And it was a big dragonfly. And we're trying to tell him, because my husband at the time, he didn't believe us. He was like, no, you guys, no. And we're like, no, it followed us. And look, like we're showing him, like it got like sucked into the grill of the car. And ever since then, like my older son does not like dragonflies either. So I don't like praying mantises, and he doesn't like dragonflies. So that's just some of the weird stuff. I'll give you another weird one because I already talked about this one too. But to the new subscribers, this is just crazy. I know it's going to be like funny to some people. Maybe now it's funny. It wasn't at the time because it was just horrific to me. So this happened years ago. Again, same house. My husband, I don't think we were married yet. We were at his house. I know he mentioned something. I don't know if I had already moved in with him or not. I can't remember. But there was supposed to be some meteor shower. And he was like, he had one of those trampolines, like those big round ones, like for his children. His children, like by the time they were already older, by the time like him and I kind of met. But, he still had this trampoline, and my kids were like young. So they used to love to go there and just kind of jump on the trampoline. And he was like, why don't we get on, on the trampoline and kind of watch, like look up at the, because there was supposed to be some meteor shower. So it was like, oh, we can watch them. And I was like, okay. So we're all excited. And all four of us got on the trampoline, and we're laying on our back, and we're looking up at the sky. So we're looking at all the, falling stars or whatever. And I can tell you, I saw, like I'm laying there, I'm looking up at the sky. And there was I saw the bat. I saw a bat. I saw it fly over us. And the next thing I know, I felt, I thought at the time, it pooped like in my eyes. I felt the droppings like in one eye and then the next eye. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm screaming again. And then my husband's, he was like, what's wrong? And I'm like, at the time I thought I was blind. So I'm like, I'm blind. Like this bat just like pooped in my eyes. And you can hear my sons over there laughing because they were little. They thought it was the funniest thing. So they're laughing. Then my husband starts laughing. And he gets off the trampoline, and I'm like, I cannot open my eyes. Like, this bat pooped in my eyes. So he's helping me down, and I'm like, it's the end of the world to me. This is like the end of the world. He gets me down, and I'm like, I can't open my eyes. I'm blind. And at the time, like I said, I thought I was blind. So he takes me in the house. He takes me up the steps. He takes me like, maybe we're living together already, because he takes me into our bathroom, and I'm there, and I'm there cleaning my eyes, and it was not poop, it was pee, just as bad, but not as bad as poop. But it was the bat, it peed, and it landed in one eye and in my other eye. So I'm in there in the bathroom. I don't know, imagine 20 minutes or more. I don't know. I was in there washing my eyes out and washing my eyes out. And I was so relieved that it wasn't poop. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I couldn't believe, like, what are the odds? What are the odds of that happening? So that also happened to me. I do have other stories, which are crazy. Like, I'm trying to think of what else I can tell you. But anyway, I wanted to talk about, I started talking about bees and then I got, so let me tell you something, another crazy stuff, which actually, you know what, I can show you my phone, because my husband actually was the one that found this, and he sent me the link, which is like the craziest thing. So, have you, I don't know if you've seen it, because he had me watch this movie called Soylent Green. I think it's with Charlton Heston or something. It's a movie from the 70s. And in this movie, well, I don't know if you'll watch it or not. I don't want to spoil it. But at the end of the movie, it's almost like, I think it takes place in the year 2022. It's really eerie. It's kind of like, you know, I'm one of those people that they tell you what they do and what's going to happen, like in movies. So this movie, Soylent Green, it has towards the end of the movie, it's like they realize that this Soylent Green food is actually, they're eating humans. Like, it's crazy. So you get a chance to watch it, Soylent Green. Anyway, so we watched that movie a couple months ago. And then he came up, I don't even know how he heard about this website. And he actually, I don't even know what he was listening to, and they were talking about it, and he looked it up and he researched it, and he's like, oh my gosh, it's real. He's like, I thought they were joking, but it's real. So the name of the website, it says Human Meat. Hold on, let me go back. It's called humanmeatproject.com. Human Meat Project, which is like sick. It's sick. So let me upload it. This is the site right here. If you can see that, Human Meat Project. Okay. Anyway, can you see that end date? Apparently, you can donate your body for other human consumption, and here. I'm going to just scroll down, and if you can read that. Human meat as food source, human meat nutritional facts, safety and quality control, and look how many people. Your whole body can feed up to 40 people. Your whole body can feed up to 40 people. This is sick and insane that there's actually places. And you can choose your end date. Okay? And if you've heard about euthanasia in like Canada, it's the craziest thing. Like, I know that they want to get rid of humans. Like, there is a war against humans. So there's euthanasia, like in Canada, where they're legalizing euthanasia. They have these places, like this website, where you can donate your body. You can choose your end date. And in that movie, towards the end, this guy chooses when they take his life, and then he becomes food. I knew that there's restaurants out there, for the elite, that they do, they consume humans, which is sickening. There's cannibalism. And now there's like this website that you can go to and you can donate your body. It is insane. I mean, you can go there and you can sign up. It is crazy to me. So, isn't that that just kind of blew. I mean, it's almost one of those things where like you hear about things and you know things are happening, and then when it's like it hits you, it's like, oh my gosh. But anyway, I'll stop rambling on. Just wanted to chit chat just about the crazy world and the crazy stuff. I do wanted to ask for prayers. I know that you guys know. They're keeping a lot of truths. I think a lot of truths are being released right now, but a lot of the people that are dropping like flies right now, that there's a lot of like heart attacks, cancers are through the roof. We know what the cause is for that recently, from like 2021 till now. So things are it looks like they're being released. I just want to ask for prayers for people, to heal people for what they took. That's not I mean, I know that it's a long shot, but for God to have mercy upon humanity and to heal the people that have been affected by all these adverse reactions. So if you have time in your, maybe like a minute or so, if you can give out a prayer, if we all pray, maybe we don't lose as many people. But just wanted to, I don't know, it's so heartbreaking to me. I know some of us tried to warn people, and you got attacked. I got attacked. And people didn't want to hear. And now it's coming to where, you're seeing it, more people are passing, and it's hard to watch. And if I can ask for prayers for humanity. I know a lot of us don't deserve it, but a lot of people do. To just keep humanity in your prayers. And I hope you're having a good week, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'll try to get on when I can, and just thank you for always thinking of me, and thank you for all of you that pray for me. I do feel like I'm safe here. God protects me. I know I have DDoS and Dark Waters praying for me. So I do appreciate everything they've done. It's helped me out so much. I've had like such a great night's sleep the past 2 weeks. It's amazing. My home is it's a happy home. I don't have things bothering me. So, just thank you. And thank you for all of you that do pray for me also. I do feel protected. I feel protection around me. And I will pray for you guys out there too. Take care and have a wonderful weekend. Bye.